Tell me about defensive linemen eating crawfish. What's that like? Just roll through
It was
'em?
fun trying to teach Neil Farrell how to eat a crawfish. I mean, I remember my first time. Um, Actually, my first time was 2 weeks ago at Mr. Malone's house. We had a crawfish boil there, and it was funny. They had, I don't know how much. I think they had 30 pounds. It was like four of us, and so we ran through it. And then this past Saturday after the scrimmage at D-line, we put together some money, and we got like 45 pounds of crawfish. It was awesome. We got like these sausages. I didn't know you could eat like corn and potatoes with it.
Yeah.
That was really good.
What was the difficulty learning how to, eat them?
So like they were like, you got to twist the tail, and then you got to suck the head. And I'm like, okay. I twist the tail and I broke it in half the first time. I was like, hey, what do I eat? And it's like you kind of like squeeze through the tail, you loosen up that meat, and you just dip it in your teeth, you bite it, and you just pull it out. That's where you get the good meat and then get that extra flavor sucking the juice out the head. So that was good. I love crawfish. You need to stay away from it. It's not something you eat every week, but it's something to do. It's fun.
Have you ever heard of crawfish before you came down here?
No, I mean, I've heard about it. I've always wanted to try it, though, and I was always scared. I was like, man, how do you look at them, and they're just crawling around that cooler before you dump them in the boiler. I'm like, you can't eat those things, man. And you get out here, you start eating them things. But, man, these things are good. I'm sorry.
That's a lot of work, though, to get full, right?
It-
Big guy like you need a
It
lot.
is, but that place we got them from, Crawfish on the Go, those things were, like, thick. And so we were going through them, and then Ed Alexander was like, he took one bag to himself, and that bag was like all the big ones. He was like, nah, man, it's not happening. You're going to dump that back on the table.
So how many defensive linemen are at this thing?
There was about 9 of us.
Nine?
9 of us there, yeah. And so it was like 7 of the defensive linemen. Then we had like Sadiq came, Tay Province came, and then, yeah, I think just those were the only 2 guys we allowed to.
And only 45 pounds.
It was all we could afford. I mean, we're in college, and so we wish we could have had more, but it was good. It lasted us enough for the night.
Crawfish and ramen noodles.
I
So,
knew-
so you guys scrimmaged on Saturday? So tell me, what were some highlights from that? You guys went up against the offense. You're starting to see what you look like as a defense.
Yeah.
What do you look like?
I think as a defense, we're molding together pretty well as the days go by. I mean, I feel like as a unit, the defensive line, we're starting to find our character and identity as days goes on. We're starting to set the standard for what we want as a room, and I think that starts by the accountability we keep each other at. I mean, the other guys, the other upperclassmen, just keeping each other. Like, I mean, Rashard telling me what I need to work on. I mean, after the scrimmage, I mean, even though the offense didn't score a point, we got in, we watched that film, and we knocked it out. Said, hey, we can't let this happen. I mean, it was good, but it wasn't great. It's not where we need to be at. I think that's the main thing, is just keeping each other accountable. I know Devin had the linebacking core, and John Battle, Ed Paris, and Grant Delpit, those guys, and Greedy, of course. They have the secondary room on lock. And so I think that's one thing is, as a defense, we're starting to set the standard and just set the character of the identity we want to become as a defense.
We visited with Andre a while ago, and so they're looking for those pass rushers off the edge there. How's that coming along?
We have so much depth. It's so great to see. I mean, of course, with the loss of Arden, I mean, LSU sack leader, having young guys like Andre, Caleb Vaughn, Trevez, Michael Divinity, Ray Thornton, all those guys can rush the passer and play the run. And they're also freakishly built in a way that they can drop back in coverage at the same time. I watch those guys progress every day. And to see what they do every day really amazes me and the talent we have at that position.
Andre specifically, what are you seeing out of him? He's had to sit out a year because of academics, and he got hurt, so he's been waiting, going on 3 years now to finally play.
Yeah, he's real hungry. I mean, I see the way he approaches meetings every day. I see the way he's in the locker room and the way he approaches practice. Without a doubt, he's hungry to get back on that field. He's playing the run. He's rushing the passer, and so that's what you want out of a B and an F linebacker, is to set the edges and then on third down drop the pass, drop into coverage. And so to see him approach his work every day and knowing he had to sit out last year is really amazing to me, and to see how far he's come.
You said you held the offense scoreless in that first round?
Yeah, I mean, I want to brag on it. I know Devin, if you guys get a chance to talk to him, he's going to brag about it. Devin's always talking trash to the offensive guys, but I know Coach Ensminger didn't open it up as much as he wants to. Probably saving for the fact that he's going to try to embarrass us during the spring game on national TV. But no, our offense in practice, they're explosive. They're explosive offense. You guys should expect a lot of big plays from them this year, for the running backs, the wide receivers, to the tight ends. But I mean, yeah, it was a good scrimmage overall. I mean, we did held to 0 points, so I'm going to keep that chip on my shoulder this week for the offensive guys and just keep rubbing it in their face that we did hit them to 0 points.
What do you see the difference between that offense from a year ago to a week through spring ball?
Real patient, a lot of leadership. I think our quarterbacks are a lot more patient on their reads. I love our receivers' route concepts. I was just talking to Rashard about it. We were watching film the other day, and we were just watching, our receivers were in a trips bunch formation to the eye near side, and, there was John, D. Anderson, and I think it was Stephon, and they all ran seam routes, and, just the vertical concepts of it, where they were finding the open pockets and how Justin McMillan was able to put it in there. It was just awesome to see, how we're actually moving the ball now, not just running the ball, but passing the ball. And to watch our run game with Clyde, Tay, Leonard, all those guys back there move the ball, it's real patient, a lot of north and south, east and west running. So I'm excited to see our offense because I know once we unleash those weapons, it's going to be deadly.
You said the defense kind of developing its identity. How would you describe the identity of the defense right now?
Right now, I think we're coming together as a group. I think we're trying to set the standard to what we want as a defense, and I think that's keeping everybody accountable. Everybody doing their 1-11. There's 11 guys on the field, and every man has a job for themselves. And I think that if every man does their job every play, you don't have any problems. And so we have leaders at every position, and I'm so grateful that, there's upperclassmen that have played here in the SEC and have a lot of experience, from the secondary with John Battle and Greedy Williams and those guys, to, of course, Devin and Rashard on the D-line. And so, having those guys set the identity saying, hey, you know what, we need to be better than what we were last year. We need to be better than yesterday. And, we did have a good scrimmage on Saturday, but it's not where we need to be. And I think this week, going into week 2, we need to take that next step forward. And I think that's the identity, is just being better than the guy you were yesterday.
You and Giles were at Texas Tech together?
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
1 year together, or?
2.5. I was with Giles for 3 years, actually.
You were there with him for 3 years?
2.5 years. I was an early enrollee, so I was there 6 months earlier. So okay. I have a half a year on him.
Did you guys talk about doing this together, or just happen that way, or what?
It kind of just happened. When I transferred, John was still in spring ball, and so I transferred spring this time last year, and John was still going to spring ball with Texas Tech. And so when it finally happened and I finally decided to transfer after the spring, John decided to transfer. And, when the time hit, I told Coach O, I said, this is going to be the next best receiver in the nation a year from now. And we made it happen. We got him here. I knew John. We've had a close relationship, and so I told him I wouldn't lie to him about, a place that'll settle for him and a place that's going to get him to where he wants to be.
What should we look forward to with him?
See, in the SEC, I don't think a lot of people is used to passing touchdowns, real explosive receivers, but you look at guys like Odell Beckham and Jarvis Landry when they played here. I think you're going to expect just a playmaking receiver that's so dynamic. He's played in the Big 12, so he knows how to run routes. He knows how to get open. He knows how to make plays with the ball in his hands. And I think you can just expect, he's going to return punts this year. He's going to be motioning. He's going to be running seam routes. He's going to be running drag routes. He's going to do everything for our offense. And I think that's what we need him to do. We need to put the ball in the best player's hands at the best time available. I think John's going to make a lot of plays for us this year. He's going to surprise everybody in the SEC just because the SEC is such a run-dominant conference. He's going to open a lot of eyes this year.
Did you play in the Texas Bowl against LSU?
Yeah, I did. I went up against Will. Played against Carl. Went up against Ethan. We always joke about it every night. We always joke about it. They always, man, we beat you guys, man. It's probably why you wanted to transfer here is because we beat you, huh? I was like, maybe. But no, yes, I did. Me and John both did.
Number 7 had a big day.
He did. I remember I'm not even gonna get it. He was a beast that day. I'll just being on the opposite side of the ball. He was a different animal.
That was the first time they ever gave DJ Chark the ball too in a game. Took him 2 years, but they got him the ball in that game.
Didn't he score when they gave him the ball?
Yeah.
That's when he was number 82, right?
Yeah, number 82.
Yep.
Reverse, 80-yard touchdown.
Yep, that's crazy. I remember that too. I remember I was on the opposite side of the field. The ball was going one way, and then I seen another guy go back the other way, and I said, he does not have the ball. And he just took off running and took the ball from one side of the field to the other side of the field. I was like, wow.
When you come to a program, and especially like a defensive program, a name like LSU, it's kind of steeped in that tradition. Who do you talk to? Who did you talk to about, now you have to be the leader. Now you have to be kind of that banner for that program and that defense.
Coach O, like just now, we were just in the training room, and I was in there getting some treatment. And, Coach O will come and talk to me, and he'll be like, hey, on this play yesterday, you shouldn't be doing that. Your steps are, you got to get your footwork corrected. And it's just a walkthrough. And when you have somebody approach you in that manner, in that seriousness about a walkthrough, it means something to him. The matter he does it in, it means a lot to him and how he wants to get it done and get it corrected. Coach O is a perfectionist, and the way he does things, it rubs off on me, and it rubs off on the D-line and everybody else. And so to be on that pedestal of defenses at a brand here like LSU, you have no choice but to live up to the name. And so there's a lot of history behind it, and you don't want to disappoint it. And so there's a lot riding on it. And like I said, I just try to work hard every day and try to do my job and do it to the best that I can.